In my life, there is a distinct line between pre-sobriety and post-sobriety, and I want to talk about that a little bit today. This might not be everyone's experience. Everyone's life is different. Everyone feels differently about everything, and also about quitting alcohol or drugs. And I have found that from talking with people, talking with other people who gave up alcohol, for instance. And some people are really nonchalant about it. Like, yeah, I quit, no big deal. I feel good, period. Or maybe that's just what they're sharing with me, which is fine. They can share whatever they want. But in my life, there's a distinct, defined line between when I would drink and then when I finally quit. And now it's been almost 15 months. It's like two different realities. That's how it feels to me. And it is not a nonchalant, casual shift in my life. It is mind altering, life shattering. And I don't mean to be dramatic, but that's how it feels. I feel like I am a new person navigating life for the first time as this new reborn person. And I don't say that like everything is golden and beautiful and rainbows and butterflies. It's just there was the way my mind and body lived when I was actively drinking and abusing alcohol. And now there's this new way that my mind and body are living and experiencing reality in sobriety. And I share this because this is kind of something I wish I knew before quitting, or all those times I wanted to quit or tried to quit and failed to quit because I tried quitting alcohol or said I was going to quit at least a dozen times, and I always went back to alcohol. But that's okay because it's all a part of the learning and the figuring it out. And now I'm almost 15 months without alcohol, and I feel like my life just begun. I feel like I just started. And that isn't always easy, at least not for me, because what this means is I'm in my mid 30s, and in some ways I feel like a child. Like I'm learning things for the first time. I'm learning how to regulate my emotions, manage my anger appropriately and responsibly, dream, create dreams for my life. That's not something I really did before. Um, Being disciplined every day, showing up to life every single day, even when I'm tired, even when I don't want to, even when I'm irritable, frustrated, sad, defeated, showing up also for the dreams that I am, building, creating, showing up to serve, you know, realizing life isn't all about me. It's not just about me. There are people, I have community, I want community, I want to build my dream community and contribute and be a participant. All of these things, maybe I dabbled in and wanted back when I was drinking, but I was incapable of pursuing all of this. A disciplined life where I participate, contribute actively every day with intention, connected to God, with clarity, or at least some clarity. I don't claim to be, like perfectly clear and figured out. But back then it was like, I might have a vision or think of something I wanted to do, but life was such a roller coaster back when I was drinking. Even if I wasn't drinking every day, though there were periods that I was doing that, it was just this constant up and down, emotional, physical, mental roller coaster. Even if it was like getting drunk, partying, going hard, and then having to recover for a week, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and that was kind of my life for a long time. So even if I had a dream, even if I had a vision, even if I wanted to be disciplined, I just wasn't. And not to mention this roller coaster is also like an emotional ride. So while on this up and down of getting drunk, being hungover, recovering, getting drunk, being hungover, recovering, there's like mood swings, and the body is not well rested or cared for, and the mood kind of fluctuates with that. So emotional regulation, while even if I was trying my best, I could only get so far with it. So now that I'm in sobriety and I haven't consumed alcohol in almost 15 months, there's the reality of every day, of being here every day, because I'm no longer escaping into a drunk night or a drunk following day, as my metabolism could take a while to, metabolize all that I consumed. With the hangover, it's like I'm showing up every day. I'm not saying I do it perfectly. I'm not saying it's always cute, but there's no escape, you know? There are escapes. There's YouTube, there's social media, there's there's movies. That's kind of an escape, but it's not the same thing. Um, I'm not completely leaving, in the form of like being unconscious um, from drugs or alcohol. So that is a reality that kind of sets in, that I kind of sink into, which is, okay, we're here every day. If I have dreams, I show up every day. There's no running away. There's no fleeing the scene through a drunk night, or the illusion of fleeing the scene, because the reality is you're not fleeing. It's this illusion of how much can I numb, escape, forget, um, offer relief through a night of drinking. But then you wake up and you're still there in your reality. Wherever you go, there you are. And then, the roller coaster continues. Eventually, I would get drunk again, escape the reality, the mess I was making, and then it would just compound. And how do you move forward in life when that's your reality? I know some people are functioning, if you will, but what does that even mean? How deep can your relationships go? How healthy can you be? How much can you thrive? How much joy can you experience when you're a functioning alcoholic? Um, I guess it's good if you can keep a job and your finances are in check. Like, that's a plus, but um, we're whole beings. We have whole lives. We have relationships and work and play and physical health and spiritual health, and we're all of these things. So what does functioning mean? Does that just mean on the surface we appear to have our lives together? But how far can we really get in life when we're consistently escaping, neglecting our health, self-sabotaging, running away, numbing? So once I gave up alcohol, um, it actually took a minute. It took like several months for the new reality to kind of settle in and to realize, oh, this is life. It's ever going until it's not, but we're here every day. I'm here every day. I'm participating best I can, and that is like a new practice for me. To participate in like the slow and steady growth, because that's how growth happens. It's a slow and steady, every day, consistently showing up. And for some of us, that's new. And so for that reason, it feels like that's one way. It feels like there's life while I drank and there's life after I drank, and there's a clear, distinct line. Not to mention that my head and body are just more clear than ever before. So once the fog is gone, the veil has been lifted, there's no longer this dramatic distraction from benders and a consistent buzz and hangovers. Like, once that drama and distraction is gone, while of course there are a million distractions, social media can be a distraction, but this particular distraction feels unique. to me, drugs and alcohol. Once that's gone, it's like, oh, okay, what am I dealing with now? I'm the common denominator in my life. And things become more clear, relationships become more clear, my participation in those relationships become more clear. Um, my relationship to all components of my life, my work, my finances, my health, God, play, my community, my family, my friends, everything. It just becomes more clear because there's no longer this fog and haze of drama and that roller coaster. It's a slow and steady walk. And honestly, sometimes it's overwhelming in that I have to confront my life, where I've been, what I've done, what I've caused, how I've really been participating, because it's easy to avoid taking accountability, responsibility for my actions, for my life. And now it's like, well, I can't pretend anymore. I can, but it's a lot harder to pretend when I'm just over here in reality, or my reality at this time. So sometimes it can feel overwhelming because there's regret I have to work through, or apologies I need to give or want to give, or, actually committing to my life and realizing there were years when I didn't really do that. So that feels like something that I need to work through consistently. And I've healed around that, and it's required healing, it's required grieving, it's required just finding peace with what has been so I can release it and move forward in this new reality, this new way of being, this new clearer head than before, clearer body than before. It feels like starting over. It feels like beginning again. It feels like starting anew. It feels like being born in a way. And like I said, it doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean like it's rainbows and butterflies all the time. It just feels like a new reality, a new way of being, a new way of seeing and feeling and participating and contributing and deciding what I want to do and be, rather than be a passive member of this world, which is kind of what happened in my substance abuse. Was I was pulled around and went with the flow so much. Not the flow of my life, but the flow of what everyone else was doing. Like, yeah, I'll go here, I'll go there, I'll do this, I'll do that. Rather than decide and know, where do I need to be? What do I need to be doing? What do I want to be doing? So it feels like there's a distinct line between the times and years I spent drinking and then when I finally stopped. It's like a before and after, or it's a then and now. And it feels abrupt. It feels, I don't want to say it's like experiencing a trauma where there's a distinct, this is before and after, but it's like distantly similar to that. I know it's not the same thing, but it's like, oh, that was who I was then. This is who I am now. Maybe it's similar to like anything else you might grieve. A life, leaving a home, losing a friend or a parent or a partner, or it's just like, this is my life then, this is my life now. And not everyone's going to understand that. Not everyone's going to get it. Even people who quit substances might not get it, because we all have our unique perspective, relationship to the substances, how we see the world, how we feel in the world. So that's why I wanted to share this today, in case anyone needed to hear this or wanted to hear from someone else who felt this way. It's my pleasure to share my experience and things I've observed and felt through quitting alcohol and kind of starting anew, or starting from this new reality of sorts. So come back for more. I'm sharing more on the subject, and like, subscribe, follow along, and I wish you the best on your journey.